You took your Christmas trees to the gym.
No, in our garage, which has gym gear in it. So
I had this image of you paddling in your canoes to the gym with Christmas trees. Okay, no, that's just chaos. That's chaos.
Hi, Kat here with my friends Di and Davina, and we're talking about Christmas and family and traditions. So one thing I'd love to ask you both is, what does a typical Christmas day look like in your whānau?
I don't know if we've got to a super typical stage yet, but usually we like to be a little bit more graceful and relaxed, and I like to try not to yell at the kids, hurry up, we've got to get to church, but definitely church.
So we get up and, I only have one son, so, we start opening presents, pretty much first thing, and then from there go to breakfast. And over the last few years, I've been like, let's just have a simple breakfast cereal, but I'd like to bring the pancakes back. I kind of miss those. And then, church after that. And that's kind of how we start off the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think back to when I was a kid, and the typical Christmas day for me back then is so different from now. When I was younger, it was always get up really early, wake the parents up far before they wanted to get up. Oh, look what I've got, these amazing presents. And then open those, and then we'd get in the car and we'd go to one Nana's house, then the other Nana's house, then we'd drive to Hamilton from Auckland. So it was so busy, lots of food, lots of gifts. Now we try to keep it more simple. So they get up in the morning, and I always say to them, we want to see you open your presents, so get us up, we'll come and join you. And we watch the girls open their surprise presents on Christmas morning, and then we just have a really chill start to the day.
I like the point you made about wanting to see your children open the presents, because that's something that we are doing ourselves now. My husband's grown up, and his family's always been quite particular on this. We want to see each child open the present. That child then gets to savor the moment and then go and thank the gift or the gift giver as well, which I think is super important. Hey?
Yeah. That's cool. So let's talk about Christmas trees. I want to hear about your arrangement. So do you guys have a real Christmas tree or an artificial one?
Well, I only ever grew up with an artificial tree. So I've never done the real thing. So we've just kind of continued that tradition. My lovely cousin gave me her tree probably about 15 years ago, so we just keep using her one every year. And it's like I mentioned it in another chat that we had, it's very tiny, which just is perfect for our house. And we kind of put that one up on, I generally try the 1st of December, or at least the first weekend of December, so we've got a few weeks leading into Christmas, and then probably take it down about 10 days after. So we're kind of quite methodical about how we do our Christmas tree.
Yeah, like you, I grew up with an artificial tree in Singapore, so I've never, but we have had pine trees after coming to New Zealand, and we really enjoyed it. The cleanup in January wasn't so fun, with dead pine needles everywhere, but the smell.
And you've got this dead tree in your living room. You're like, who's going to take this to the tip? Any volunteers?
Exactly. So,
it's a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah.
We now generally have an artificial tree because a few years ago I worked out that I was actually allergic to pine.
Right.
I was getting bad hay fever, and I'd walk into the room and I'd get kind of itchy and sneezy, and I'm like, why is this? But I love the smell of pine. And so we don't have a real tree anymore, but there is something magic to it, isn't there?
You can have your artificial tree and just do the scent, the room scent. If you like the smell, and just gives you the feels without.
I like
those lovely soy candles that you can burn, whether it's all the Christmas scents, cinnamon, cranberry, pine. That's
I
what
like
I
that
do.
Christmas sense. It's a
Yeah.
great idea.
It's
One
really
thing
good idea.
that our church actually does for the youth is they have this fundraiser where the young kind of adults and teenagers sell Christmas trees as a fundraiser so they can go to their New Year's Eve youth camp. So it's a wonderful initiative. So it's quite cool to support that where you can. Obviously not if you're going to be sneezing, but maybe to gift on to someone else. Now let's talk about family traditions that you've established over the years. Do you have anything that perhaps you've been doing without even realising it, or maybe something that you'd like to bring in as a family tradition?
We're a relatively young family. My children are 6.5 and 4.5, and we've been married 7.5 years. So what we've started doing is really making the most of Advent. And a few years ago, a wonderful family friend who's not even Christian, but knew how much faith meant to us, she made us an Advent calendar composed of the nativity scene. So over the 4 weeks or so leading up to Christmas, my children put a little Christmas, it's a felt, made out of felt, by the way, it's a wall hanging, and they put a Christmas character up. It could be a star, it could be a shepherd, and then, we end up with Jesus at the end. But on each day, we have a little activity as well. So I incorporate the decorations into that. So, we put up the Advent calendar first, and then eventually the Advent wreath, and then the Christmas tree, because my husband has to have that earlier on. I could do it a week before Christmas, but he's like, no, we need that, that extra special touch. So yeah, that's what we've been doing in the lead up to Christmas. And one thing we've been getting the kids to do as well is learn a Christmas carol or give Jesus a Christmas gift in that lead up as part of their Advent countdown to Christmas.
I know this is a more recent one, is we still do the present game. Even though we've all had presents, we still do that little present game where you've got a gift under $5. And so this is with my extended family. And I don't know, it's just one more element in the day that everyone looks forward to. And, we all just have a laugh, when Nana's like, no, I don't want this present, I'm going to swap it with yours. So she steals it.
Sorry, Nana steals a present?
Oh, she does. She does. So, just lovely memories made with that one. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, we've got that tradition as well.
That's awesome. I like that. I also remember a friend of ours talking about a reverse Advent calendar where each day you take something that you have, like a pantry item, and then put it in a hamper, and then at the end of Advent actually gift that hamper to someone in need. And I'd love to try that myself. Yeah. One thing that we do every year is we do a McCormack family festive photo. So we try to make it more outrageous every year, but basically we dress up festively themed and we find some props and we take an outrageous picture. And one year we had these kayaks that were left in the yard, and we were messing around, and then we thought it was funny that because we were wearing red and green anyway, we put Santa hats on, and then we dismantled the tree, or maybe we were in the process of putting it up, I can't remember, but me and my sister posed in the kayak using the Christmas tree as oars, and we had the Santa hats on. Last year we were in the gym, my family, which makes sense because my husband and I have a background in the fitness industry, so we were in there with the girls wearing red and green, but with Christmas trees and everything, but then gym gear as well, red and green fitness equipment. So it was just a bit of fun. So every year we do that.
You took your Christmas trees to the gym?
No, in our garage, which has gym gear in it. So
I had this image of you paddling in your canoes to the gym with Christmas trees. Okay, no, that's just chaos. That's chaos.
I think gyms have to be closed on Christmas Day. Yeah. Everybody needs a break on Christmas Day.
Everyone does.
But I like that idea of, capturing something different about each year. It's quite fun. Well, let's talk about family and the Christmas season and how we focus on our family, but also make time for friends. So how do you fit that all in, Di?
I don't know if I do, to be honest. Not on Christmas Day itself. Prior to Christmas, it does seem to be that season where it's it's the end of the year, let's catch up. So there's always lots of catch-ups prior to Christmas Day. But I think on Christmas Day itself, it really is, we see our church family in the morning, and then, it really is generally, just my family, which is pretty big in itself, spending time together. So, certainly when it comes to the Christmas season, if we're going to talk, sort of end of the year, definitely try and catch up with friends as much as I can, but also knowing that there's days after Christmas to catch up with them too.
Yeah, well said. The three big F's: food, faith, and family. That encompasses the 3 core days of Christmas, I guess. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, perhaps. But you've also got the whole 12 days of Christmas after that, right up to the Epiphany. And we really make the most of that time to catch up with our church family, our friends, and extended acquaintances. Extending that Christmas get-together celebrations a lot more.
That's cool. We like to go to the Christmas Eve service to catch up with our church family. Our church actually doesn't do a Christmas Day service necessarily unless it's on a Sunday. So it's always fun going to the Christmas Eve service, singing Christmas carols. They often have amazing performances on Christmas Eve, which is really fun. And the other thing we love to do is, and we started this a few years ago, potentially in the weekend before Christmas or 2 weekends before Christmas, we have our drop-in Christmas gathering. So this is where we open our doors from, let's say, lunchtime onwards, and we say, bring a potluck dish, and it'll be Christmas themed. We'll decorate, and people can just pop in. And it's basically for anyone who we'd love to catch up and have a Christmas celebration with, but just can't fit in on Christmas Day. And we recognise that so many people go away to be with their family at Christmas time. So it's a way of catching up, and there's no pressure for anyone to come. But if they want to come and pop in, they can drop in for any amount of time in that duration. It's kind of like an open home, basically.
Yeah, cool. What date is it this year?
I haven't figured it out, but I will send you the invite. I also think it's a really great opportunity to invite people that perhaps don't have any family as well, and that's something that we've decided to be more intentional about. Think about those people that sort of feel quite lonely at Christmas time and don't have that sense, and then include them in that celebration too. Yeah, it's good times.
It is. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. That was a blast, right? Now, if you liked that, make sure you like and subscribe.